Alright, welcome to I Just Arted. I'm John, and this week we're going to do the same setup as last week. You get to see the art in the background. I'm going to sit here and talk at you. But I'm going to talk more about what I do for a living, which I haven't talked about in the past. And before any of that happens, intro. Alright, so in the past, I haven't talked about what I do full-time yet. I've actually edited entire sections out just to not talk about it, but some really funny stuff happens at work that I really want to talk about. So, I am a sheriff's deputy. I work corrections, and so that means I only work in the jail, which is much nicer because it doesn't snow inside the jail. And when people first get brought to jail, they get brought into a place called booking, and that's where most of the fun stories come from. It's in that first little bit that people are drunk or high and they just go nuts, and that's where the cool stories happen. But one day I was up there and searching a kid, and I was searching his wallet, and he kept looking over at me. He couldn't stop checking to see what I was finding in his wallet, so I had a feeling I might find something. So I pulled everything out of his wallet, and I could still feel something in the bottom of the wallet. So I found this hole that had been ripped in the wallet, and I dumped it out, and about 6 or 7 pills just came tinkling out of the wallet. And this kid, he was real quick because he was high. This kid sees those fall out, and he says, "Those are Tylenol." Immediately, "Those are Tylenol." I said, "That's kind of a weird design for Tylenol." He says, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, it says Xanax on the pill." I'll show you a picture of what these pills look like. They're pretty hard to mistake for Tylenol. I've got another story. I'm going to save that one for another time. But while I was cruising around YouTube, there's something else that I saw that I kind of wanted to talk about. It's called Temi, Temi, T-E-M-I, and it's basically the robot from the Jetsons, only instead of a face, it has a tablet. I'll also put a picture of that up. And for $1,500, you can have a government spy in your house. And I'm assuming that the tablet is just like any other tablet. It's probably got a front-facing camera and everything. I saw them making video calls, so I'm sure it does. And it's, I don't know, about that tall. And it can roll around your house, and you just tell it to do stuff like make phone calls or, pull up YouTube or whatever. And it can follow you around, which is creepy, because I don't know how I'd feel if I woke up in the middle of the night and there's just this tablet sitting at the foot of my bed staring at me. But we're basically like 2 steps from iRobot now. 2 steps from just having these personal robots that... Anyway, that's all I could think about during that commercial was just, we're all gonna die. And I could see how this robot would, solve a bunch of issues. Like, if I'm cooking and I want to watch YouTube, I can't just tell my phone, "Hey, pull up YouTube," and then stay in a convenient spot for me to watch it. So, that's kind of nice. Or maybe my hands are covered in deer blood or something, and I want to talk to my wife who's in the other room, and I'm like, "Hey, call my wife's phone, video chat with her," boom. It's right there. There's some convenience to it, but I don't like it. I don't like the idea of hackable technology wandering my house. And who knows, maybe in, a year or two when everybody's got these in their house and these are a lot cheaper, then maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, it just kind of creeps me out. So last thing I want to talk about, we were cruising around on KSL, which is basically Utah's version of Craigslist, and we came across this kid who was offering, like, he would pay you, and all you have to do is sit there and listen to him talk about Star Wars. That's it. He just wanted people to listen to him talk about Star Wars. And it said some kind of weird stuff, like he would absolutely talk about Star Wars while you're falling asleep so that you can fall asleep better. He would talk about Star Wars and you wouldn't even have to talk. He would just sit in your back seat and just tell you all about the universe of Star Wars and all the different books he's read and all this stuff. And if the robot creeps me out, this kid definitely creeps me out. Because I don't want someone sitting there talking about Star Wars while I'm falling asleep, who then after I fall asleep I don't want to know. Anyway, that's all for this week. You might get that last story, you might not. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much time I've got. If you like this style of video, if you like the stories, if you like the setup, please hit the like button, subscribe so you get this every week. Also, if you have any suggestions for future art projects you want to see, painting, sculpture, drawing, anything, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.